Welcome to Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Today we have Chewy May.
Hello.
So I'm so happy that we're doing this.
Yes.
So completely random.
It is.
So you're born and raised New York?
Yes.
Crazy. And you're just visiting Europe for, well, it was more of a holiday idea? Or what?
Yeah, holiday idea, yeah.
Yeah. And why? Like it was like post-pandemic? I've never been to Europe.
Never been to Europe. My partner usually before pandemic always came to Europe every year. So I was like, oh, I know somebody in Berlin. Let's hang out and then go to Italy. Yeah, I've never been to Europe. Know very little bit about Europe.
Mm-hmm. But you've traveled out, like, I'm going to sound really condescending as a, like, you know, but you've traveled outside the States before.
Yeah, I've been, but it's like Canada, Mexico, and some parts of Asia.
Oh, yeah, nice.
But yeah,
nice.
but not extensively.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Like, you know, a U.S. citizen with a passport. Like, that's not, that's so mean. But, you know. Okay, and your partner, where's your partner from? If they come to Europe?
She's also from Brooklyn. She's also from Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But she comes to Europe regularly just because that's...
Like, she goes to Oktoberfest. That's, like, her friendship tradition. Every year, they always go to Oktoberfest in Munich.
In Munich?
Which is, different. Which is far away from here. I'm learning.
Yeah, it's not that close. Are you going to Oktoberfest?
No. Well, I'm meeting with her in Munich, taking a train. And it's just like, I didn't know that was that far. It's like,
it's like a good 5-hour train ride.
Yes.
Yeah, you thought it was much closer.
Yes, I thought it was like how in New York we have different boroughs. I don't know why I thought Germany was so. I was like, oh, it's a 5-hour train ride.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's way further away. I should turn off this silly setting on my computer. Okay, so hold on. So you're not going to be a part of Oktoberfest, is what you're saying?
No.
You're going to skip that.
Yeah, skip that because like although there's like stuff to do for sober people, I feel like as an adult.
Yeah, because you mentioned in your set last night that you're sober. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would be very.
I'd be like,
supportive.
why is everybody so loud? I don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, and why do they keep trying to touch me? And why? Yeah.
I don't want. Stop singing.
Why does it smell so funky? Yeah. I can't imagine. It would be. You know what? It would. No, it would be fun for like an hour once everyone was drunk, and then it would just be like, why am I here?
Yeah. Although, like, I'm realizing, like, the drinking scene in Berlin versus the drinking scene in New York. Mm-hmm. Like, first night here, I saw, like, 5 men just sitting at a table at a late night at a bar drinking and talking. Mm-hmm. And that's very different from, like, what I'm used to in New York, where it's just, like, rowdiness and, like, them being, like, trying to, like, hit on the bartender and, it's, like, doing shots. I don't know if shots are a thing here. They
are, but they are done in a slightly different way. Like, shots will be, like... You can't. Well, you know, I think they happen in the same way, but it's more like a celebratory, like it's for your birthday shot, as opposed to like let's get drunk faster. Yeah. I think it is. I think the drinking culture, like I can relate to that because in Australia, it's also. I think it's much more like in the States, because we're restricted from alcohol until 18, which isn't that much, but yeah, it's just this binge culture. Whereas here, people will. You know, sit and talk kind of quietly for hours. Yeah. Drinking.
I was just like watching it. It was like a group of men. I was like, okay, this, In the States, it would be like, stay away from like drinking men because then they'll like try to like make out with you. Or meanwhile, there was like actually having conversations. I was like, oh, this is civilized.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is a bit healthier. But there's also... I don't actually know comparatively. What about the drug culture in New York? What's that like?
I'm not really. I only tried like cocaine like in my late 20s, and I only done it twice, so I'm not like really that much of a drug person. In my circles, is mainly like weed and some cocaine. It depends on the circles. Like I'm very. I don't really. My persona doesn't shout like let's do drugs together.
No, I'm not particularly. But so you're sober for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And you were saying in your set that you were pretty crazy drunk.
Not like crazy, but more like problematic, and then like the part where I was like the drunk friend that friends had to babysit. I don't know if you guys have like that friend in that your friend group there where like, oh, she had five drinks. Let's watch out, make sure
And so what kind of things would they have to look out for you?
that I get very like touchy feely, or like I get very like
So you get a bit predatory. You become those men in New York.
I become the men in New York, and I also like become like a couple places that I've been thrown out of. Like one place I got thrown out of was like
I like how it's like a couple. Like there's been multiple. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
One place was like how I am is like a roll of the dice where I'm either like part of me, I can be fun and like have a good night, and then we'll all have a good morning after. And then the other part of me was like predatory, and the other part of me was like, oh, I was happy and now I'm yelling at people.
Oh yeah. I've been there. I don't know. I feel like I've worked through those problematic elements of my drunkenness.
Yeah.
And so I always am scared to say that word actually, but like I don't get to that point of like being abusive.
Oh no. Yeah.
Or just like yelling.
Oh yeah.
I think.
I still remember one place I don't know if I got thrown out or like people were just like shunning me to leave, but like it was so we there was like a secret like strip club parties in New York, and
Okay.
where you have to be like an email address, and then they'll tell you where it is and how to get inside. And I guess I was overly drunk, and one dancer was like, okay, well, we'll meet at the bar, and then we can hang out at the bar. I'm like, cool, okay, I'll meet you at the bar. And then me being drunk at the bar, and then she like then talked to like another customer. I'm like, hey, fuck you, you liar. And the like other dancers were like, no, it's okay. I was like, no, she lied to me.
She said she was going to talk to me, and now
Yes.
she's talking to someone else. Oh, that's...
I was terrible, and yes, I was thrown out or shunned out for good reason.
That's hilarious. That is a really dude vibe. Like,
I was very duty. Yeah, I was
like really.
you say you were good. You you said I was your favorite. You lied.
I deserve your attention. Why aren't you giving it to me? Wow, that's hilarious. I've only ever been like my worst behavior has always just been with partners.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, like that's when I've been yelly or dramatic or yeah, like that, making a scene.
Oh yes, making scene is always.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, I think one of the worst ones. The worst I've ever been was with my healthiest relationship. So I'd say for him it was probably his most toxic relationship.
Oh dear,
like
yeah,
I was
yeah.
the bad guy in this one.
Yeah.
But for me it was like, oh, he was so supportive and he was so but I just ran over him. Like I was horrible. And I remember one Christmas party. So I worked at an insurance company for quite a while in fraud investigation.
Interesting.
Now if that doesn't lead you to binge drinking every weekend, I don't know what will. And we had a Christmas party, and afterwards I used to work at a bar in the city as well, so we went to that bar afterwards because we hadn't been drinking enough for free at this like casino, and then ended up at like Hungry Jack, Burger King, and I don't really remember honestly, but like I remember sitting in the gutter, and like I was dressed nicely, so I shouldn't have been sitting in the gutter, and I remember like yelling at Ben, and I don't even know why, you know what I mean? Like, like absolutely no reason. And then he told me like 6 months after I broke up with him. Yeah, I even broke up with, he should have broken up with me. He told me 6 months after that night when we'd gone to bed, I yelled at him saying, you better be careful because I'm gonna light the bed on fire when you're asleep.
Okay.
I said, I'm going to light the bed on fire and burn you in your sleep. And he was like, okay, Anna, turn off the light and go.
Did you like to play with like lighters?
No, we smoked.
Yeah.
But what was going on for me to get to the point where I was threatening to murder my boyfriend that we only had one bed. Where was I going? You know what I mean? All my possessions in that room. Like, it's just, what did this lovely man, like, why, not okay.
Yeah.
And so I stopped drinking for a month after that. And then after that month, I drank again, and then and cheated on him. Oh wow, I was a piece of shit. Okay,
It's like we're all growing.
yeah, we are. I was 25. It was definitely my most unstable.
So it was last week.
That's right. 25 in 1 week. Yeah. But getting kicked out of places, I only ever got kicked out of one place, and that was when I was really young, and that was because I was dancing clearly not well behind the DJ, like on the podium behind the like in the DJ booth. The DJ let me in there, and then I was dancing behind him, and the bouncers were like, no, you're done, and they like walked me out.
Yeah.
Because in Australia, it's like they don't let you stay if you're too drunk.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Well, I don't know. It's pretty controlling. Like, so the responsibility of how drunk people are is on the bartenders. The bartenders are responsible.
Oh, so yeah, that's okay. That I could see being bad.
Yeah, which means so as soon as like for example, I'd never seen in my life until I got to Europe people just like having a little nap at the club, and like that being okay.
Oh yeah.
Where in Australia, you get kicked out immediately. Like, you snooze, you lose, you're out. Like, you know, if you look even like slightly too drunk, they will tell you to leave. Which is like, here, you can be in all sorts of forms, and it's not no one's gonna do shit.
It's like the nightlife in Australia, which is not in Europe. Do you guys are like the bars open late, or is it like after a certain hour then everything is closed? Then
most bars close around like midnight, 1ish, but then there are a couple of establishments that have managed to maintain a license until like 6 a.m.
Oh,
A couple. Yeah. In New York, it's like there's places that are open super late, right?
yeah. Usually 4, and then after that people like have like a after hours party like in their home, or like one of those like not speakeasy, like like speakeasy type of places.
Mm-hmm. So like where it's kind of like a lock-in, like no one else can get in.
Yeah.
Till 4. Okay, that's actually quite. But there would be a couple of places that run really late, no? Like till like that don't close. Are there places that don't close?
Like diners. Like a lot of people end up like after things start closing down, they go like diners.
Do diners sell alcohol? Probably
Beers.
not. They do
Beers
sell
and
beer.
and wine.
Cool. I've only been to New York once, and
Nice.
I really enjoyed it. And but I was very poor, and it was at the end of like me traveling for 10 months, and I was really, really poor. Like, I was living off $10 a day.
What were you doing for like? Were you just traveling the world?
Yeah, for like 10 months.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was why I worked at this insurance company and was selling myself to the man, because I was making good money, and I saved about $20,000 to then just travel for almost a year.
That's really good.
Yeah.
What was like the most culture shocking place you traveled to?
Good question. Well, I studied Japanese and Italian. So I started, and I was planning to go back to uni and do a thesis in either Japanese or Italian. And so part of the trip was deciding which language I was going to focus in on. And so I started in Japan, and then it was the UK, Europe for like 3 months, Turkey for 3 months, because my boyfriend, the nice boyfriend, was doing an exchange there for 3 months, and then I went to the States for like 3 weeks. Biggest culture shock, even though I'd been there before, was Japan. Like, I'd been to Japan when I was 17, but it was in a school group. Going there when I was 25 as a single female, was really quite. It was very surprising how people reacted to me, how men reacted to me, and the only like country I can compare it with is Turkey, which was also quite culture shocking, because like the first month it was like touristy, it's different, but then you start feeling like, they don't like me because I'm not Turkish, and as a white woman there's a certain reputation that we seem to have that they look at you with, and the same in Japan. So I had some really nasty moments in Japan where I really felt like that people were just looking at me like I was this very, very like they didn't respect me at all, and that I was this
Were they like looking at you like you were evil, or
like they could buy me.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
Did they try to buy you?
they didn't try to buy me, but they certainly looked me like up and down with this like very objectifying vibe, and yeah, it felt really bad, and I had the same experience. Even like, I was wearing like just a loose t-shirt and jeans, and I was still being, and not that it what were you wearing, but like, that's what I was wearing, and I was still getting looked at like I was, had my boobs out, and like I was naked basically.
Interesting.
Like, yeah.
Were like the local women all covered up?
Yeah, not always, no. And that's the same in Turkey as well. Like, Turkish women can walk around in super short skirts and those like thigh-high boots and stuff. And no one's looking at, like, very few people are really like, and I studied this walking down like the main streets. It was like, no, I'm getting these reactions and these people are not. And so in Turkey, it was like, it's not because I'm not, Muslim, because it's still a secular state. It's not a religious thing. It's that I'm just not Turkish, and so that's what they're looking at. And yeah, in Japan, I'm just not Japanese. I think also just not Asian. Well, East Asian looking. So it's like they look at you. So that was the culture shock, really.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Is your partner? Is she, like, what's her background? Like, have you been to countries with her?
Oh, this is the first international trip we've been to. She's Afro-Latina, so she's, her lineage is, like, Panama. So haven't really experienced, like, any racial tension. But this is also the first international trip we've been to, and she's been to Europe before. So yeah, not really experienced that much.
Okay. Yeah, because it still shocked me when I went back. Because the first time I went to Japan, we went down to the south, we did this exchange thing, and, children like staring at you on the bus because you're the only like white person, and they're just like, they'd never seen a white person, but like in life, and they were like wanting a photo and wanting to like, and it's like, okay, and this is Japan, you know what I mean? Like, I think the rest of the world thinks of Japan as very modern and international, but it's really not in like, the far corners.
Yeah.
Tokyo, yeah, but so yeah, but like but yeah, so okay, so you haven't traveled with your girlfriend to
those places. But when I first got here to Berlin and I saw like Asians, I got really excited. I was like, and then like they were speaking German. And they had like German accents. I was like, whoa. They didn't care about me, but I cared about them. I was like, hi. They were like ignoring me. I was like, okay.
Okay, that's the thing in Europe, because it's like Melbourne, Australia has so much immigration from surrounding Asian countries, and so, like, in a lot of like friendship circles, I was the only white person, and like a lot of Japanese, Thai, Chinese, Vietnamese, and when I got to Europe, I was like, where are all the Asians? and there'd be like, occasionally there'd be like a family of Vietnamese people on the train. I'd be like, that feels better. Like this feels like home. Like this feels normal. Like having such a lack. Yeah. So yeah, I even worked at a Vietnamese restaurant here for a while. Like not because I was missing it. I needed the money, but but yeah. That felt not like, I was like, I feel much more comfortable.
Oh yeah.
But it's weird. It's not weird. It makes sense. But you know what? There's lots of Vietnamese in Germany.
Oh yeah, and we saw like I don't know if it's called Little Vietnam, but like when I was looking up like Asian towns, it showed up, and it's not like what I was expecting. It was like warehouses, and inside the warehouses like a little like, it seemed like a little street inside of it.
I need to go there. What's your heritage? Chinese, yeah. I figured with May, but I have no idea. And Chewy, is that
Chewy May is a Chinese name,
but it's spelled CHUI normally, or
yeah. Well, it's not my legal name. It's just my Chinese name that I just decided to go by.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it's interesting. Choosing your name, that's cool.
Yeah, because it's like when your parents name you, it's just like an expectation, and then when you're treated like that, and then so like after like a while, especially with like comedy and performance, then you get to choose your own identity and like grow into that. And I decided to go with my Chinese name.
Nice. Yeah, because one of my best friends growing up, she was Vietnamese Chinese, and her name was Cindy. and and that's fine. Like growing up, most a lot had like those really old school English names like Charlene and
a lot of Graces, a lot of like Ruths.
Yeah, totally. But my brother doesn't like his name because my brother's name is it's spelt mate, which is like the term of endearment in Australia. But it's Croatian, it's Mata, and he doesn't like his name. But I like my name. I've always been comfortable with it. Okay, so sobriety. All right, getting kicked out of places. You had a great bit. Well, you have a great bit last night.
Thank you.
About the pandemic and your sexuality.
Oh yeah.
So that's really, and so what I kind of understood was you were thinking a lot about dicks.
Yeah.
And that led you to, what point did that lead you to? Thinking a lot about dicks?
And then like trying to figure out like, am I bisexual? I don't know. Like, and then I was like, wait, or am I gender fluid? Then that's was like led me down like that thought process, because like just noticing like men's bodies a lot, and I was like, am I bisexual, or am I just interested in like genders?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's an interesting. Like which is it? Because there's that thing of like, when you're attracted to someone, is it because you want to be them or you want to fuck them?
Yeah.
And so the gender fluidity thing's an interesting one. Like I dated someone who then is transitioning or I'm not sure where they're at in their process, but it was very freeing being with someone that I felt I could really lean more into my sort of like not specific, like not particularly feminine elements. I could lean more into my stereotypically feminine elements. I could really be more get quite comfortable and being a bit more masculine, or or just not just feeling the freedom to experiment with that is interesting.
Yeah.
So what's with your partner? What's the dynamic like with sort of your gender fluidity and with them? Like what?
There's not like really set dynamic. This like it is what it is, and it's just like very supportive. Like we support each other, and pretty much it is. Yeah, it's nothing like major. It wasn't like we must sit down and talk about this. It was more like, okay, so this is happening. Okay, this is like
yeah.
Which I guess is good.
It's good, yeah. Okay, and then in terms of like the penis thing, so like, do you think like are you like you wouldn't want to like do you want to play with a penis?
I think I do. Like in my toxic days, I've tried. Like
toxic days.
How I knew that like drinking was an issue for me, because like sometimes like when I'd be out and it would. Like, I feel like as performers, or as people in general, we have a level of narcissism where we need validation. And it's, as women or, like, women identifying, it's easy to get validation from heterosexual men. So I'll be, like, so drunk and, like, being, like, ignored by, like, women. I'll be like, all right, then I'll fuck this guy who I guess wants to fuck me. And then, like, halfway through, I'll be like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm done. But him wanting me was, like, enough for me until like during the course I was like, no, okay, I'm done, off. And good thing that they were like respectful men. They're like, okay, we stop.
Yeah. That is good. I think like there are very few women I've been genuinely like really attracted to, like interested in something. And so I think I have been like that in the past with women, and like, all right, I can't get these guys. Hey, like Linda, let's do this. Like it's just us here now. Like what else are we gonna do? Like let's get naked. I can relate to that quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it's like sometimes. Yeah, back then I was like, I just need validation, and you're a good-looking bloke. But then halfway through, I'm like, I'm not into this.
Yeah,
this feels odd.
Yeah. I've never stopped anything with a woman because it's like,
you don't want to be rude, or this.
I just like, it's not off-putting, Like it's just like it's still good. It's still good. Like this is still good. Would I, would I have imagined that, like, was that the thing that I wanted to do at the start of the day? No, but I'll roll with it. I think I'm quite passive in a lot of, like, yeah, I'm happy to just let things happen.
Oh yeah.
Do you, yeah. You were talking a bit about pegging. Do you guys both do you both do that, or not at all?
No, not really, because yeah, I've also lost stamina and endurance during the pandemic, so we haven't really. But no, the pegging thing was just funny because like I thought I was just like, yeah, because like during the pandemic it was like, oh, I don't want to get, because she's immunocompromised, and I was like, oh yeah, I do not want to get you sick. I do not want to get you sick. But after a while, this became a certain point where I was like, I don't want to be the first one to bring this home. So,
yeah.
So like, and then the thought process of like, oh, if I was, then I would never live it down, and then you could do whatever you want to me if I brought it home first.
Yeah. Okay, and then the
pegging bit.
The
came.
pegging. Okay, all right. Yeah. Have you ever done that before?
Up the.
As in, like, done it, like, as in you worn the strap on and done it?
I've worn the strap on. I've done it before. Been pegged. I vaginally, not anally, been. And yeah, it's it is interesting. I like whenever I've like had penetration with men, I'd never finished, and I always stopped them in the middle. I've only been penetrated by a woman once. Well, they didn't identify as a woman, but they were like feminine presenting. So that I enjoyed. But yeah, that's, I guess, like a long-winded answer for, I forgot what the question was.
That was great. I was excited to see where you went. It was about just experiences with pegging. Like, I've never worn a strap on, but I attract men
That want
who want that, but I still haven't done it. But like, I attract it.
Nice.
Like, it's like I also attract men who wear nail polish, which is fine.
Yeah.
But like, it's strangely consistent. Like, like, even if I meet them through a dating app, and there's no, like, nail polish in the photo. No, I don't have a problem with it, but it's like each one of them. It's like all of them at the moment. It's like they all wear nail polish. It's like, what is going on here? And then all of them are into butt stuff.
Oh yeah.
Am I exposing anybody right now? Not really. Maybe not. I might be referring to past lovers. It's okay, but or not. I feel like I've been getting into trouble for exposing people, but it's all anonymous.
It's all anonymous, and I don't think anybody can, like, nobody's at home being like, all right, she's talking about this, and like drawing like a web before you're trying to figure out who you're talking about.
I really hope not. But basically it has been a pattern that that men who are attracted to me, like butt stuff, like, done to them as well.
Oh, you've pegged people before.
I haven't pegged anybody yet.
You haven't pegged anybody?
I haven't, but there's a
Are you nervous to, or has like the relationship dwindled down before you got a chance to?
Exactly. The relationship has stopped before I've gotten to that point, or before I've even, like, so the first person that was interested had all the stuff, but then the reason why I ended the relationship. This was the person that was transitioning, who has since transitioned. I stopped the relationship because they said to me one day, look, I'm just not sure if I'm actually just gay. And I was like, well, that sort of completely removes me from your interests. Like,
yeah.
I was like, I can't handle this. And they were also very unstable, and there were lots of drugs involved as well. And I was like, very unstable. Very vulnerable and unsafe for my emotions. So I got out of there before, but they had all of the stuff. Like, we had all the stuff to go for the strap-on experience. And I was a little bit annoyed that I didn't get to it, but also with the dynamic, I was also from the start threatened by it, because it felt like if I did it, it was because they wanted me to actually be a man as opposed to be me.
Oh yeah.
So it felt invalidating of my body.
I see.
But since then, I haven't. No one's had the get up, and I haven't experienced it yet, so I'm not like, I really love pegging someone, so I haven't gone and bought it myself. But I have lots of interested parties, so I'm like, but lots of like, fingers and butts and tongues and butts, sure. I have done that plenty, but
How was the finger in the butt? Was it? Did they put their finger in your butt, or you put your finger in their butt?
Can be simultaneous fingers and butts.
Did you have to clean out your butthole before?
Ideally, yes.
Okay, because I know for me, I have like it's still somewhat poor, but it used to be a lot poorer. So I would be backed up. And one time I was curious. I was like, I wonder what inside my butthole feels like. And I put my finger in, and I was like, oh, it's poop. So that's why I was like, that's. So I feel like you have to have like either clean it out before or have a like good diet, a lot of fiber.
Ideally, both of these things. Sometimes, there's surprise anal, and surprise anal. It's a gamble. You don't know when, you don't know how clean it's gonna be. I would say a good diet does help. But yeah, with a good diet, like when it's not, the ratio of uncomfortable situations to like, wow, got away with it like scot-free. More good experiences than like, oh, that's embarrassing. But also like if you get into butt stuff, it's like there can always be that little something still in there that's I don't know. But yeah, cleaning is and with one of the guys that I will give attention to his area he's always clean. Yeah, so they clean themselves.
And you never put your finger in a butt and you're like, oh.
I haven't had that. Oh, I had one boyfriend who was like, I want you to put your finger in my butt, but it was like very not sexual. He was like, wear these gloves, and it was in broad daylight, and he sat with his like
They check his prostate?
It was like that. But he wasn't asking me to check his prostate. It's just he'd never had a finger in his butt. And I'm like, do you want to make this sexy or not? He was like, no. Just like, it was like in the afternoon. And he was just lying like with his knees on his chest, like smiling at me. And I'm like, you want me to just put it in? Like, we're not making this fight. He was like, yeah, just put it in. And I did that.
Okay.
Did
you have to lube up your finger first or just like dry glove?
You know what? I was trying to remember this the other day because I know enough about butts to always make it. No, it should be lubed up.
Yeah.
But no, I think I did lube it up. Yeah. We had some lube, and I because otherwise, like a glove as well. That's like some dry fucking. And he had a very hairy butthole, and I remember.
Dear. Oh.
I like hairy butthole. Like
you do like it?
Yeah, I like.
I feel like then you would need to always carry moist towelettes when you wipe. Because then I feel like then it could get stuck in the hairs of the butthole.
The poo.
Yeah.
Sure. But like you can, I think ideally you are able to always wash your butt with water.
I get like bidet. But
yeah. You can always do the old, Ali Wong's bit about it. The old like spit on the toilet paper.
Yeah.
But like, it's It's the poor man's bidet, like or wet wipe,
Yeah.
But it removes the last things, I guess. But yeah, I guess with a hairy butthole, you do need to. It does take a little bit more care.
Yes.
But I would much prefer. I think I prefer men like
with hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if they remove it around the area, cool. But like removing their butt hair, I don't know. I want that. I like hair being everywhere, really.
Like even like back hair and like.
Yeah, I'm fine with back hair.
Okay. Like
fine with all the hair. Back hair.
What other hair? Like nipply, like hairy nipples.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Interesting.
Yeah. I wish men felt the same way about my body, but
I feel like nowadays, like this new generation is promoting like the patriarchy made us shave and now we don't need to shave.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's happening a lot more now.
I think it is happening more. I don't think that the majority, like I don't think that the average male perspective has changed that much. Like I don't like it has like there there is a growing group of men who, and women, yeah, women included, who will look at a unremoved, like a hairful woman.
Yeah.
Hairful. And like, and not judge and not be like, oh, like, ugh. That percentage is growing, but it's still tiny.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I did grow up with with misogyny being the norm. So like, I used to be like that. I used to be like, what? Why don't you shave your pits? That's so gross. But then I'm like, wait, it was promoted by like, I'm sure like Gillette or like some
every media
yeah,
source, like where there's more and more, which is very exciting, images of women in the media with a hairy armpit.
Yeah.
But like, I remember, okay, so I've got quite a few bits on this because in the pandemic, the year that I stopped drinking, I also stopped removing my body hair, so I really didn't get a lot of sex. And but I remember like there's this cafe downstairs from me, and there was this guy that had like dreadlocks, who was young and like, you know, pretty cool and progressive. And one day, like, I remember talking to him out the front, and he worked there, if I didn't mention that. And I just like did something like this and like exposed my armpit hair, and the look that crossed his face of like horror and disgust.
horror.
Just like he like, and then like the disgust that went across his face. You know, when you see that in someone's face.
Yeah.
And like, coming from him, it was just like, dude, like, do you even wash your hair? Like, you're a white man with dreadlocks. Like, who are you to judge me for but just like, I got so tired of feeling judged and getting that sense of disgust from strangers and from people that I know, that's the only reason why I remove my body hair. It's because like, I will not deal with that.
Yeah.
I don't just, but like, it means that, you know, the next generation is still going to have to, if they survive, to see that point. But like, you know, they're going to have to they're still going to have this inequality because we haven't done enough to fucking normalize it, because we still don't enjoy the level of judgment and shame that's attached to it. Oh man, this was such a fucking topic for me. It's ridiculous. It's still a massive thing. You remove, like, do you
I remove my body hair only because it's just, I also don't like it on men either. I don't know, body hair for me is weird, but I realize that my past perspectives on it were toxic and because of patriarchy, and so like my perspective on it is different. But like for me personally, I don't like it on myself. And I'm also, I don't know if it's ADHD that I also like start. I know, like, my partner is the one that pointed out a lot that like when I'm sitting down, I start like picking my knuckle hair, and when I'm like lying in bed, I start picking my
pubes.
Yeah. Sorry, my love. I do pick my pubes in bed. I try not to anymore. But like sometimes when I can't sleep, then I started like picking at pubes,
like pulling them out.
Yeah. I don't know what it's from.
I've done that a little bit, but I don't do it now. Yeah, it's usually pretty short now. I do like having it short down there because I like to see it, actually. Like when it's all hairy, like you don't really get to see it as much. Like it's like just walking past the mirror, it's like, well, yeah, now I can see it. But have you ever grown out your bush completely?
I have, but never purposefully.
Just accidentally.
Yes.
Like, oh shit.
It's so hairy. Because I remember when I was younger, like in my 20s, I was like, oh, this gym has razors. All right, let me only shave here so that it'll like encourage me to go to the gym. And then I just never went to the gym.
That's great.
But then again, I don't know how comfortable they would feel if like I come in with my full bush and start shaving in the shower. And
I think you should have done that. Just leave all the hair in the drain.
Like, thank you, Sandra. Fun working out session.
Okay, so how long did it get?
It was like, I don't know measurements, but it would be long enough where it would like cover the clitoral lip area.
Okay, so we're talking a couple of centimeters. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh no, like an inch.
Like a few inches.
a few inches.
Yeah, like enough
Like
to
that-
where like it would just like cover the lipple area.
The whole, like, you wouldn't be able to see the lips at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. My pubic hair grows straight, which is a bit weird for some people. I think it's mostly weird. But like some people say, like other people, the only other people that I know that have straight growing pubic hair are of Asian descent.
Oh, yeah, I have straight pubic hair.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Have you studied Asian when you're in Japan? Let me look at your pubes.
No, like, because I had this bit about having straight pubic hair, and the only women that came up to me after shows that were like, me too, were of Asian descent.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Like,
They were
look
like,
at
you're like,
it.
it's like you're Asian. I'm like, no. But yeah.
Look at it.
It's like, it's, yeah. Yeah,
It
yeah.
only curls like when you pull it out and then you see like a little curl at the
Yeah,
end.
mine's just like slightly waved.
Oh yeah.
Like slightly waved, but like pretty fucking straight.
Oh yeah, mine too. I think my pubes are also thicker than like my head hair.
Oh,
nowadays.
me too. Oh, yeah, way thicker. Way thicker. And then, have you got gray pubes?
No.
I got a couple. I've got a few. Yeah.
I think it's fine as long as
They're
like,
the really thick ones, though. Like, the
Oh.
gray pubes are thick as fuck. Like, you think normal pubes are thicker. No, the gray pubes are like wire.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Must like hurt to pull out.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. What do you, so you shave? Like, you use a razor or?
Yeah. Use a
Okay.
razor. Not so much because I've been the roommate where I guess shaving the shower is not good because like I've been the roommate where they're like, oh yeah, our shower is clogged. And I'm like,
Yeah, a lot of people shave in the shower. I never understood that because it's like, dude,
Do you
that's
shave on the toilet?
I don't shave.
Oh, sorry.
No, but when I did shave as a teenager, and I very quickly I was like, this is not sustainable because like the grow back is different. So I was like, I need to be pulling these out from the pore. So I bought an epilator when I was 14, and I've still got the same one.
What's the epilator?
An epilator is like it's like a little machine that's got these little tweezers. And it's like on this little spirally thing, and it's these little bits of metal that open and close as it moves around.
Oh, I think I've seen those.
Yeah. Epilator. And yeah, great investment because I also, like, when I was about 12, I started waxing my upper lip because my brother would tell me, God, Turkish wedding outside.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's usually a Turkish wedding. Lots of horn tooting if you can't hear what we're referring to.
Oh yeah.
Epilating. Yeah. But no, when I did shave, I never understood how people would do it in the shower because it's like, that's a fuck ton of hair that's going into the drain.
Yeah, I was. I was the bad roommate that would clog the drain.
But my ex-housemate, she would shave in the shower, and we would have a little drain cover, like the drain catchment thing. Yeah, but no, you just let it go straight down. Okay. So you don't shave that much, you're saying, or you don't?
I don't shave that much. I guess I could, but I don't shave that much. But now I'm thinking about getting an epilator. Is it better than
like just now, or?
Yeah, just now. Is it better than waxing?
I hate waxing because I hate the heat of it on my skin.
Oh yes.
I hate that feeling. Like I really despise it. Like it's always too hot, or it's just like. And then that stinginess, like it's the effect it has on the skin, that I don't like. Epilating hurts because it is pulling it out, but like you do get used to it. Like like it doesn't hurt anymore. Like there's no pain. I'm just dead. Like there's no sensitivity. Even around my bikini line, like it doesn't hurt, or around my butthole, or
You epilate your butthole.
Yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
I have like hair in between the cracks. I don't know. I've yet to like explore my butthole area.
Oh no.
But yeah, but my cracks. I don't know if it's TMI for your audience, but like
Not at all.
But yeah, my crack has hair. Sometimes I pluck that hair.
Oh yeah, in the shower I'll sometimes like back when I wasn't removing it so often. That would be like where you would pick your pubes, I would pick my butthole hairs. Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, you can epilate that shit. Like you just need to, just spread it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, really nice.
Does the hair come in like a little compartment in the epilator that you just like pull out and then
I
toss
kind of
it?
just like it just like, because the things are just opening and closing, it
Oh.
kind of just like flitters around. So I just vacuum afterwards, do it in the bathroom. Like
Oh, you do it
standing
on the
up.
floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just vacuum.
Okay.
No, it's not maybe a precise art, but I think the vacuum's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I lived in, and even when I lived in with other people, I would do it in my room, and then I would just vacuum the area that I was sitting on. Yeah.
I used to just like freely like pluck whatever hair in my room back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. I had somewhere to go with that, but I wasn't sure. Then I lost it. A lot of hair chat. I like it. I like it. What else was there? There was something I wanted to go. Do you have any topic that you want to talk about? Because we're going to wrap up soonish.
Oh,
In a
it's
couple of
whatever.
minutes.
It's whatever you want to talk about.
Anything. Hair. No. Body standards. I find that really interesting that you don't like hair on men. That's so like a Turkish man to you is just like, oh, that's too much.
No, like when I see I don't know. I guess because it's also growing up with like images of what attractiveness is and seeing like we didn't like on magazines or like movies. We never seen like a hairy body like in a sex scene. It's always been like. So I guess that
not a lot of European cinema in the States.
Maybe that's why like it affected my brain and subconsciously I find like hairless bodies, which also like, well, now that I'm saying it out loud, sounds problematic because it sounds like it's like baby bodies, like prepubescent.
There is that, yeah.
But yeah,
I did have a strong belief for a while that the patriarchy was basically feeding pedophilia.
Yeah.
But there are adults that don't have hair. It's
Yeah.
that's
Like
that's a thing.
I don't shave my legs, but I do have hairy legs, but it's just my hair is very fine.
Yeah.
So like my partner saw like sitting down. She's like, "Oh, you don't shave. It doesn't look like you need it until like it hits like a certain light hits it, and then you see like tiny little hairs."
Lucky you. My leg hairs are dark and also very straight, and now because I've been epilating for so long, they it's very sparse, and it will be like actually no,
You epilate everywhere.
I epilate legs, armpits, bikini line.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no, not my eyebrows. I don't. I just pluck a
That's
little
good.
bit. Yeah, and I pluck around my upper lip as well, and my chin. Oh, the beautiful chin hairs.
I like plucking my facial hair. I don't know if it's ADHD, but it's like sometimes I would sit and start like plucking. I remember I started doing that in junior high because I remember I would like sit in class and like would like start plucking my forehead hairs, and then people would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess this is not normal."
Yeah, I used to. I'll like pull my eyelashes.
Oh, interesting.
Which is
it?
not ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's maybe. I think when I'm stressed, I tend to pull at my eyelashes, which made my mother very angry because she's been jealous of my eyelashes. Because she's always like, "Your eyelashes are so long, and you have such and whereas I've got these little ones. Don't pull them out." Why eyelashes are considered this attractive thing on women as well.
Is it? Yeah, I do wonder like where it all started.
Yeah, these beauty standards.
Yeah,
beauty standards.
It's not like. Wait, is Gillette like the company?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like.
Do they also make mascara?
It's not.
Go on.
Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
No. You were about to say something.
Yeah, because it's not like we had always had Gillette, so I wonder where the.
I did.
Hairless.
I did research it a bit. Where it did definitely start with razors, but like in the 20s and the 30s, that was the first time that women were exposing their armpits, like dresses.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was the very first time, and so people, like once it was exposed, and same with legs as well, because before that, the bodies were always completely covered.
Yeah.
And the thing is, men cover their bodies as well. Like.
Yeah.
So it was because all of a sudden they were exposed that it was like, oh, they started removing it, I think. But not everyone did it. And then I think it was around like within sort of a 10-year bracket that the razor companies came in and were like, yeah, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I think that's loosely that's very rough history of hair removal there. I'm sure it's deeper. Okay, I'm just trying to think if there's any last points that I wanted to cover with you. We did pegging, anal. Okay, lesbian anal was one of my favorite Reddit categories for a while. Yeah,
It's on Reddit.
It's
Like-
good porn
Oh,
space. Reddit.
Reddit's a good porn space.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because
All the things. Yeah.
my experience with Reddit is like, oh, you post a question and then people answer whatever.
Yeah.
But you could get porn from Reddit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've never been to that side of Reddit before.
Oh, get into it. Do you watch porn?
Yes.
Oh, that was a solid answer. Okay.
I don't watch it that much since my partner and I live together, and I don't want to be like, dinner and conversations with you was exciting, but let me go alone and watch something. But I used to have like a porn laptop. But
Whoa,
then
okay, this is getting a porn laptop.
oh yeah, because I always feel awkward where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so gross. I remember 'cause I had like a work laptop and then my personal laptop and then my porn laptop, and I forgot why.
How many laptop that's
No, because like work laptop is like company given.
Yep.
And then personal laptop is like for your own personal projects. And then
porn laptop's something else though. Like,
oh yeah, it's like
you just had an old laptop.
yeah, old laptop where like if I didn't care if it got like a virus type of like laptop. But I remember one time I forgot
Like chlamydia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot why, but I was like, oh, that I couldn't use my porn laptop, and I was like, sorry, I couldn't use my personal laptop, and we were like writing session with like other comedians. I was like, all right, let me just clean up my porn laptop, and then I brought it to a Cadobo, which is like a Mexican fast food company, and I was like, all right, and then opened the porn laptop. It had white spots on it. I was like, are these cum stains? And I forgot to wipe my laptop down. So that was embarrassing. So I was like, all right, porn laptop is going to stay strictly pornography.
And what are your go-to categories?
I do like lesbian like pegging. That's like a hot category.
Yeah.
Straight porn is fun for me. Like I don't know why. This is
Interesting.
I like watching it. I don't like participating. I do enjoy watching it.
Huh. What sort of straight things?
I guess I'm a bit vanilla. I like the whole like, oh, this person caught this person masturbating and now they're gonna finish each other off, and they were like, I
like your porn story voice, by the way. That's great. Yeah.
I also enjoy like I have looked into some person try to burglarize this house, but now they're fucking, and like I do need porn to have like an opening scene.
Okay.
I can't just go straight to like.
Really? You need
Yeah.
to. I fast forward.
You do?
Like I love that they've got the little markers these days of where the blowjob is, where the like anal, and where all the
Yeah.
parts are. Yeah, that's
But-
very handy.
That is very handy because like, but I do need to set the scene first, and then I could fast forward to like, oh, this is the parts.
Yeah.
But I do need to set the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like and there are like some videos where like, these are my favorites, and I know which parts I like the most. But then, I still need to set the scene.
Interesting.
So I do watch the opening scene first, and then I'm like, okay, now fast forward to where like.
Wow, that's it. That's interesting. We're all different. I don't need any preamble. Yeah.
And then there's also like, I am certain fans of like some porn stars, and they all have their own social medias. Like Naomi Banks is one where I like her stuff. Michael Stefano, although he's like a white dude, I do like that he like talks to the women. He's like, this is what I'd like you to do, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's good. He's very
Michael Stefano.
yeah.
Okay, I'm making notes.
And Naomi Banks.
Naomi
They
Banks.
both talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Misty Stone, also the way she talks to her co-stars, I like.
Like, how does she talk? Like, she's dominating.
Yeah,
like,
she's dominating. She's like, she also. That's how deep in the pornography world I am. She also did an interview with Vlad TV, and she talks about and she in her interview was like she talked about the racial disparity within the porn community and how as like a woman of color you have to be a certain type. Like old school days you could be like thick and like get jobs, but she's like you have to be a certain type. But I like her. Yeah, she's very dominant in it, and she's always like dominant and encouraging. She's like yeah, which I like. And Michael Stefano is very much like more encouraging. He's like, yeah, touch it, yeah, I'm gonna touch you, yeah, this is nice. And like Naomi Banks is more dominant. Although it's gonna be like a fan. Although in her earlier videos, there was like one video where she is submissive, which is awkward because like she was submissive to somebody who was like smaller and younger. I was like, this is okay. And I thought it'd be like a video that I liked, but then it was one of those where a video where she was a teacher and her student in detention was like looking through her things and found a dildo and it was like, you're getting in trouble. Naomi Banks like, no. I'm like, okay, that I don't like because then you're like putting her in a weird spot.
And not believable. Would she be like, no, if she's such like a dominant person normally?
Yeah, and then just be like, I don't like the whole exploiting of somebody like, I don't want to be in trouble. Do this.
Like just morally you don't agree with that, so you don't want it in your porn. Okay, nice. And then and do you play around with like doming and subbing with your partner, or is it not really something that you guys do?
We haven't explored that yet, but I've explored that in the past. And sex when you're in love with somebody is interesting, whereas it's like it's more intimate.
Yes.
Like it's no longer like fucking, it's like intimate. Where I'm like, it's yeah.
I agree. But then like it's interesting. Yeah, I've got a few. Yeah, playing around with the dom sub thing's interesting, and then when there's love involved, it's I don't know. I've played around a little bit actually when there's been like love involved as well with that stuff. I feel like there's still a lot of stuff to explore.
Oh yeah.
Which is cool. Like I've had a lot of sex in my time. I'm 35 and I still feel like there's a lot.
Oh, definitely. There's like
there's a lot.
Whole different categories. One of the people I used to date loved using needles in her sex.
Whoa.
She also enjoyed using fire.
I'm sorry. I'm not shaming. It's just that seems really difficult.
It is like she knew all this stuff. I was too toxic for her, so we ended things. But like, yeah, there was also like one person I dated who, on her profile, not dated, sorry, friends with, and then we messed around once. On her profile, enjoyed cat play, where she liked being a cat and like that.
I've heard of that because of a TV show had that in it, cat play.
Yeah,
and I was like, I thought that was bullshit, but like that's a thing.
There's everybody has their own kink.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched Chewing Gum. One person, it's not like a sex TV show, but like one person's thing was like she wanted to be a baby, and that was like the joke of it. So that's that as well.
I know there's the guys that have diaper fetishes. I've seen that on Tinder. Yeah,
There's so much to explore sexually, and I went to this one party where they did a demonstration about like mummying, which I'm not sure if it's the right term, but they enjoyed being unable to move and just being saran wrapped against the pillar, and for the rest of the party they were just like saran wrapped against the pillar, like watching people play, I guess.
I've seen that actually once before, but I think it was more of like there's someone emptying their recycling very loudly in the courtyard. If you can hear that, a lot of bottles. I was at a party. I thought it was more performance art, but yeah, it was actually someone being cling wrapped to a wall.
Oh yeah.
And she stayed here. They stayed there for quite a while, and then eventually got cut out, and it was very cool to watch.
It's interesting to watch. Yeah, people.
Yeah. I guess they get in. They do it because they enjoy that.
Yeah, some people get and there's also like, I don't know if it's called cucking.
Cuckolding? No,
yeah,
cucking. Yeah.
Like when like a guy gets his partner ready for another partner, and he just like watches it as they get down.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's cool. I'm down for that. Have you done? Oh, okay, we've got to wrap up. I think.
Oh, sorry.
For you. No. For you, I think. But one last. Have you done any like group sex stuff? Like
Group sex? I have not. I've been a spectator at like sex parties, but I've never done group sex. Yeah, I've not. I think I would like to try it. I think with my anxiety though, I would need to prepare myself because even like one-on-one with like a new partner is always like, is this all right? Is this okay? So I don't know.
Yeah, I think one-on-one with a new partner is
so like few on one. I feel like I would get more anxious.
I think usually with a group sex thing, you for me, I think usually with someone that you're already you're already kind of comfortable with.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that kind of but it is I think there's something with the energy of those dynamics that you kind of get lifted out of that. And like if you're with someone that you're comfortable with, then other people adding to it, it's like it becomes kind of more of like a dance as opposed to like a conscious getting to know you, and also caring about the relationship in the future. If you're just having this moment in this kind of group setting, then it's like you kind of just going with it, and there's no fear of how this is going to affect the future dynamic. So it's like, you don't have to be like, you can just be like, not like that. Or you can like, you can be however you want to be, communicating what you like. There's nothing to lose. Yeah. Group sex. I think it's something, I think more people should do it because I think it really, I think it changes how you feel about your body and sex. When
you've done it, like, are you equally attracted to everybody during your session, or is it more like no?
The last place I had this, I wasn't really attracted to anybody except for the person I went with. Yeah. Which was disappointing because that would have been fun to fuck someone else, but still the whole sort of voyeurism as well as like exhibitionism was very fun, and also there was like lots of different spaces to use, so it was very stimulating. But in times before, there's been people that I'm like averagely attracted to, people that are just there, and like it's just the timing, and I wouldn't usually be that attracted to, but like not unattracted. But and then it varies. But I think we should do it more as a species.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a lot more fun. My brain went somewhere else where like with porn I need a storyline. Even with like kinky stuff I need a storyline too. Because I had a friend that is a dominatrix, and she was like, "Oh, like you like being spanked?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like being spanked." And then so went up to her house and she just started spanking me out without like setting up a scene, and I was just like, I don't think I like this. So I feel like I don't know if with group sex, if I needed like.
Or I wonder if you can just make the scene in your head.
Oh yeah, I could try that.
Maybe. Or just focusing on the sensation as opposed to, But if you need some context, then I don't know. Yeah, the first couple of spanks, I'm always a bit like, all right, and then like focusing on the feeling of it is what. And the sort of anticipation is fun.
Oh, for me, I was like, wait, so why are we here? Like, why?
What did I do wrong?
Like, okay, are you mad at me at the scene, or are you just like doing this like as a masseuse? Like, I don't know.
Is this therapeutic
or is this punishment? I need to, yeah. And she was hot and she was doing it, and I was like, no.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know that you need that.
Which I don't know if it would be great during like a sex party with like a group of people where we're like, let's get down. I'm like, okay. So how do we know each other?
What's your role in this? That could be funny though, and that other people could get into it. It sounds very nerdy somehow, like it makes it more like
improv scene.
Yeah, exactly.
I just need. Like,
just throw me an idea.
I need like like I like fucking, but I also enjoy foreplay. And foreplaying for me is like, why are we here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah.
everybody's motive?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Oh, oops.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap up so
Yes,
that you
yes.
can get ready for your show. But this has been a massive pleasure.
It has been much fun indeed.
How can people find you?
ChewyComedy.com. Is .com work here?
I think it's international.
Okay. ChewyComedy. No, because I saw on websites I saw like .de or something like that.
Sure, but that's if you have a German website.
Oh yes. So ChewyComedy.com and Chewy May on Instagram and Chewy Comedy on Twitter.
Perfect.
Yes.
Cool. It's been such a pleasure.
Indeed.
Thank you so
much for having me.
Yes, that's been Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Thank you so much and goodbye.
Thank you.